Mabuhay everyone, Marches here and welcome back to the channel. So for all of you who haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Just click the button down right here. So today's video will be about a comparison video between the Adidas HARDEN Volume 4, which is a very new sneaker that is out now, and of course the Adidas Dame 5, which was out January 1 if I'm not mistaken. So let's see which is the better performer. If you want the more detailed performance review of each of the sneaker, I'll be putting up the link up here. Let's start off with the upper of both sneakers. The material will depend on what colorway you will be getting, but for mine, the barbershop colorway, it features a mesh upper with some suede panels over in the front and on the heel part, and some synthetic patent leather on the side or just plastic, which is kind of shiny for the barbershop colorway. For the Dame 5, it features a mesh upper too and some felt-like material at the back for this Sugar G colorway. In the Dame 5s, it really depends on which colorways you'll be getting. There are some that I really like the newer ones, which had a green camo. It has a synthetic leather at the back and some very nice mesh in the front. As for the support of the uppers, both uppers are very supportive. Ventilation on both, I will say it's on the okay side. It's not too warm, but it is also not too ventilated. And as for the toe box support area, it's pretty much the same too. And as for durability around the toe area, very durable, especially on the Hardens where they put additional suede material on top of the mesh. The Hardens, it feels softer compared to the Dame 5s. So if you want softer material around the toe area, go with the HARDEN Volume 4s. While the Dame 5s, although it's not as soft, you don't need that much breaking time in these, but upon holding them close together and comparing it right now, the HARDEN Volume 4's material is way softer compared to the Dame 5s. Let's move on to the mid part of the sneaker. Of course, the Hardens feature a strap in the midfoot. There's a wing-like support around the midfoot going back to the heel part, while the Dame 5 doesn't have that. It just have a traditional tongue lacing system, but it is a high-cut sneaker. So from the midfoot, both are pretty much the same in terms of support and lockdown or foot. Both sneakers, for me, lockdown is very good and very supportive around the midfoot. But of course, around the heel part, that's the main difference between the two sneakers. This is a high, this is a low sneaker. So it really depends on your preference if you want a low cut sneaker or a high. But heel containment, heel support on both are very good. No heel slippage, even though the Hardens is a low. As you can see, the Hardens heel part goes up, but around the ankle part it is really low, so it doesn't make that much difference. Maybe it helps in the heel containment, so heel slippage, heel support, and ankle protection is very good on both. But if you want to feel more secure around your ankle, and if you have that mentality that you have to have a high cut sneaker to help protect your ankle, of course go with the Dame 5s. You'll feel more at ease with it. But in terms of support, both are very good because mostly ankle protection comes from the heel cup or heel containment. So if your heel is very much contained, ankle protection is pretty good on that sneaker. As for the comfort level around the heel part, both are very comfy. As for the tongue, both have a traditional tongue lacing system. The only issue I have is with the HARDEN Volume 4s. The tongue, like I've said in the performance review, keeps on going out here and overlapping in the inner lining of the ankle part of the HARDEN Volume 4s. So it sometimes gives me discomfort and I have to fix it. So I just have to find the sweet spot in tying my laces so it won't move that much. So I'm still figuring that out because I've been using several sneakers right now for review. So I have yet to fix that issue. Maybe I'll try it on later. In terms of comfort, both have very nice pillows around the ankle and the heel part, and I would say it's a tie for that. For the insole of the sneakers, I think the HARDEN Volume 4s have a nicer insole compared to the Dame 5s. Let me remove this. Oh no, it's pretty much the same, I'm sorry. Both insoles are pretty good. For me, they're very plush, even though they are thin, neoprene-like material, so that's okay for me. And now, of course, we're going to the cushioning. This is the main difference between these two sneakers. The Volume 4s is a full-length light strike, while in the Dame 5s, it's a full-length bounce cushion. So bounce cushion had been out in the market from Adidas for a pretty long time, while the light strike, they just introduced this last year from the Adidas Next Level. The light strike for me is like a fusion of the bounce cushion with the Boost cushion. You get the best of both worlds. You get the responsiveness of Bounce and you get the bounciness of Boost. That's it for me. Boost is bouncier to Bounce. For me, it is more mushier, but there's a little bit of delay when you're using it in terms of performance wise, but for lifestyle wear, Boost is really the way to go. It's very comfy. It's really good for everyday walking or traveling. The Bounce cushion is very ideal for performance. It is because it is a very responsive cushion. There's a little bit of bounce. Responsiveness on the Bounce cushion is very, very nice. So what they did with the Light Strike is they married that. It gives you the responsiveness of bounce, at the same time the bounciness of a Boost material, and not giving you that delay or mushiness that you can find in Boost. So for me, with the cushion setup, I would go with the Harden Volume Force. You have to try Light Strike if you haven't tried it yet. The Harden Volume Force impact protection is better compared to the Dame 5s. I feel like they're pretty much equal in terms of thickness, but on the feel of it, when you're landing on your heel, it's much more mushier on the Light Strike compared to the Bounce cushion on the Dame 5s. So if you want maximum court feel, if you want no delay, you want maximum court feel and responsiveness and a little bit of bounce, go ahead with the Dame 5s, you're safe with that. But if you want more bounciness, especially in the forefoot area, and there's more impact protection in the forefoot and on the heel, in the forefoot of the Dame 5s, court feel is really low, really low. So there's no impact protection in the forefoot area of the Dame 5s, comparing it to the Harden Volume Force. More impact protection around the ball of your forefoot, Harden Volume Force. So for me, I would go with the Harden Volume Force because I really like doing sidesteppings and hop step, and it really gives a lot of impact around the ball joints of my forefoot. So I love impact protection in my forefoot area, and the impact protection on the heel is also a bonus for the Harden Volume Force. Now let's move on to the traction of both shoes. Of course, the Harden Volume Force features a web-light traction, while the Dame 5s have a herringbone-like pattern. This is like feet you wear pods, if you know the feet you wear, or BYW, modular areas of the foot. And for me, the flex area of the Volume Force is better compared to the Dame 5s, because it's just one slab of traction for Dame 5s. So as you can see there, this one is flex here. And as for the heel to toe transition, pretty much the same, but I think this one is better too because it is segmented and not just one slab. So heel to toe transition is better on the Volume Force. For the rubber compound traction, I would lean more on the Volume Force. I haven't tried out yet the other colorways. I don't know how it performs, but with this barbershop, it is a solid rubber outsole and the traction is very good on this one. On a very clean court, it grips hard and it squeaks a lot. On a dusty court, it picks up a little bit of dust. Just a light swipe will fix that. While on the Dame 5s, with this Sugar G colorway, it was amazing. The traction was amazing. Very similar to the barbershop colorway of my Hardens. But I had the bad experience on my first colorway, which was really trash. The traction in that colorway was trash. Tried this colorway, the Sugar G colorway, and the traction improved a lot. A different traction from that colorway. The grooves here are deeper, so you need to wipe more here compared to the Volume Force. So that's my verdict on the traction. So it really depends on which colorway you'll be getting. Sadly, that's the case, and that's the truth about sneakers nowadays. The traction really sometimes depends on the colorway, on which rubber compounds they use. But I think with Adidas and the Hardens and the Dame 5s, you should lean more towards to the solid rubber outsole. In terms of my experience with Adidas, they're more dependable. So with these two tractions, pretty much alike with these two colorways. So I'm giving it a tie right now. So weight-wise, the Harden Volume Force is 435 grams, while the Dame 5s, 435 grams. So same weight for these two, on the pretty normal side of things. Was pretty much surprised. I thought that the Volume Force will be lighter, maybe because this has more layers. And I thought this will be heavier because of the bounce cushioning. Maybe the Light Strike foam is thicker on these compared to the Dame 5s bounce cushion because it's a little bit thinner, especially in the forefoot area. Maybe that's the case. So for the price point, this is 7,000 pesos. This is 6,000 pesos. A $20 difference from each of this shoe. My final verdict, which sneaker would I be getting and would I reco? If you have more budget or extra money, I would reco getting the Harden Volume Force because you have to try the Light Strike cushioning out if you haven't tried it, and it is much better compared to Bounce and Boost in my opinion in terms of performance. So if you want to try it out, try the Light Strike cushioning on the Volume Force. That's a deal breaker for me. And as for the upper, both are pretty much the same. It's just a matter of preference if you want a high cut sneaker or a low cut sneaker. And as for traction wise, it really depends on which colorway you'll be getting, so good luck on that. But for the cushioning, that's the main difference. I would go with the Light Strike because impact protection in the forefoot and heel is much better, and the bounciness in the forefoot area on the Volume Force is much better compared to the Dame 5s. If you don't mind that and you want maximum court feel, this is really lower to the ground, the Dame 5s, comparing it to the Harden Volume Force. Sizing wise, go half a size down for regular footers. So for wide footers, go half a size up. And I think both sneakers are very wide foot friendly. They have enough space above the toes, above the forefoot, and both have very nice lateral outrigger on the forefoot area. The same width in the forefoot, and on the heel, Hardens are a bit wider by just maybe a centimeter or 5 millimeters. Thank you again for watching this video, guys. This has been Marches. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers!